Welcome back to step 8. We are going to read 4 notes in first position onto the second string and on the first string. That would be C, D, F, G. Last we played C, D, F, and G. We went actually backwards. We went G, F, D, and C. And we played 16-bar blues. Today we're going to play and read the notes, and you're going to discover it's not that difficult to read music, especially if you already know what the names of the notes are that you're learning to read. So, starting on the note C, this note here is on the second string first fret. If we strike that one, you'll notice on the staff it is on the second to the top space. So we've got a circle, which is the head of the note, between the third line and the second line. And the next note after is on the second to the top line, and it is D. You already know where D is, and you'll put your fourth finger down, and there we go. Going to the first string, the top line is F, and the next note above that is G. Now looking at the staff, you can see that all 4 of these notes are half notes. So we will tap our foot and play C and D and F and G. Again. Nicely done. Most important part in this step is being able to connect what you already know, the notes C, D, F, G, to the symbols, which we describe as music notation. More about the symbols that you see before you in the piece, learning your A, B, C. At the very beginning of a piece, you'll notice a kind of a G-like figure named the treble clef or the G clef. Guitar music will be using that. The 5 lines of the staff are the method in which we use to write the notes. The pitches are notated there. And the appearance of the note, as we've seen with the rhythms we've done in the last couple weeks, represent the time. So it's really quite remarkable, the music notation. This wasn't just developed suddenly out of nowhere. It took hundreds of years to actually figure out a system like this. And it's been used for hundreds of years. Okay, so let's take a look here. We see a time signature at the beginning of the piece. That's 4/4. That means there are 4 beats per measure, and a quarter note will equal 1 beat. We've kind of presumed that, but that's the symbol that would tell us that. And then we see a group of notes that you recognize as a quarter note, followed by 2 8 notes, a quarter note, and a quarter note. In playing this piece, we have a number of challenges. You know where the notes are, you know the names of the notes, but you're having to read the pitch and you're having to read the rhythm. We can break this problem down into 2. So the first thing I will ask you to do is see if you can do the rhythm. Okay? And that's going to be done. We'll mute the strings and we'll just practice the rhythm of the first measure. That would be down, and you'll actually strike the strings, down, miss on the way up because that's a quarter note, then followed by 2 8 notes, down, up, and then 2 quarter notes, down, down. So that'll be down, down, up, down, down. Again, down, down, up, down. One more time, down. Excellent. Now, the next part is the names of the notes. So you look at the first note, you notice it's on the second to the top space. The name of the note is C, yes. The next note in the song is D. So you're going to play C, D, D, and the next note after that, top line is F, yes, and the next note again is D. So that will be C, D, D, F, D. Say that with me. C, D, D, F, D. C, D, D, F, D. And now let's play it. Position your hand. Ready, and C, D, D, F, D. That was pretty good. Let's try that again. C, excellent. Take a look at the next measure. 4 eighth notes followed by 2 quarter notes. That would be counted down, up, down, up, down, down. Try that with me with muting the strings. Ready? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. One more time. Now let's take a look at the pitches. We see it's on the top of that top line. That's a G, that's right. F, we recognize maybe. So we have G, F, G, F. Next note on the second line, D, yes? And the second space, C. Okay, it's getting a little easier maybe already to recognize these 4 notes. So let's say it in time. G, F, G, F, D, C. G, F, G, F, D, C. Now you probably notice G, F is on the first string and the last 2 notes are on the second string. When you are playing G and F, you can have both fingers down, and when you play G and you go to F, you just lift the 4th finger. And if you're playing D and C, you can do the same thing. When you move over to play D, move your first finger over as well to play C. So you'll have D and C. So that'll be. Okay, so let's try that together. Down, up, G, F, G, F, D, C. And now we might as well play the first line. Now let's put it together. We'll do measures 1 and 2. Starting at the beginning, our first finger is already set on C, D, D, F, D. Ready? Down, up, C, D, D, F, D, G, G, F, G, F, D. Let's do that one more time. Ready? Down, up, C, D, D, F, D, G, F, G, F, D, C. Excellent. I will stop at this point in showing you how to practice and learn the piece, because the goal for you is to actually be able to get quicker at the note recognition. But there are things that you can do when you're learning a piece of music that can help you be able to learn it more quickly. For instance, you may notice on the ABC song that the first line is marked as A, second line is marked as B, third line is marked as A, and fourth line is marked as C. If you look and examine, you'll notice line 1 and 3, marked A, are identical. Now, most of the time when you're looking at a piece of music, you're not going to see them mark it like I did for you. But you will find repetition. And if you are able to identify the repetition, you can find that isolating and focusing on a couple of measures can actually make the piece come much quicker. Okay, I'd like to take a moment and look at the next piece. Goldfish, Deep Fish, Deep Sea, Deep Sea. The title is actually a giveaway. The first letters spell GF and DC. Okay, so those are the only notes. But again, when you look at measure 1, you will notice that the rhythm is 2 eighth notes, 3 quarter notes. If you practice that, you'll notice measure 1 and 3 have that same rhythm. Measure 2 and 4 have 6 eighth notes and 1 quarter note rest. That squiggly line is a rest. So it goes like this. So as you're tapping your foot, down, up, down, up, down, up, miss. Down, up, down, up, down, up, miss. What you're feeling on that last note is a note up in the air, and we would call that a little bit of syncopation. The word syncopation is when we accent something or we have musical notes that are occurring in between the beats or on weak beats, unstressed beats. Okay, so if I play that melody without giving it too much away, it sounds a little like this. And the next two bars sound very much the same. Okay, I don't want to give it all away because I want you to be able to identify that yourself. At the end of the first line, you will see a repeat sign, which means you get to play the first line 2 times. Altogether, that will be 8 bars. The next line is mostly notes on the second string. It's only the last 2 notes that are actually on the first string. So you're dealing with just D and C. That should make it easier, except for one thing. Measure 6 has a bit of syncopation in it. So that's what I'd like to focus in on. Measure 5 and 6. So measure 5 is one that we've already done, really. Down, up, down, down, down. And if we're tapping our foot, down, up, down, 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 up, down, down, down. But measure 6, you will have nothing on the third beat. You have a quarter note, an eighth note, followed by a quarter note, which is in the middle of the beat with your foot up in the air. And then your foot has to go down and up for the next note. So that rhythm, which we call a cakewalk rhythm, goes like this. Down, down, up, down. It's a little tricky. You try it with me. I'll give you 2 free beats. Down, up, down, up, down, down, up, miss, up, down. Again. Down, down, up, miss, up, down. One more time. Good. And this part is really, I think, got the biggest hook in the piece. This concludes Lesson 8. Your mission this week is to be able to recognize the notes on the staff, the notes C, D, F, and G. Also, what you're trying to see if you can do is develop a strategy in learning a piece of music more quickly, beginning with the rhythm, working on the note reading by identifying and saying out loud the names of the notes in time, and then, last but not least, playing it. Good luck, have a great week of practice, and I'll look forward to seeing you next lesson where we're going to explore right-hand picking and including the A finger, a song that will just give you chills. Okay, till next time.